Humphreys stand-up special comedy gig! So we're at Cash University Comedy Institute and we're doing this in the Yorkshire Taps, as you can see, so thank you Yorkshire Taps for the opportunity. I'm César and I'm going to be your host. Yes, my name is not British, I'm César. So César, you spell it like César, but you actually pronounce it like with a TH at the very beginning. Can we all try to say César at once? At the count of three, I want you all to try to say my name. So 3, 2, 1. César. You know what? For now on, you can call me Steve. So now I want to know your name, guys. So can you, at the count of 3, say your name? If you don't know your name, just say Steve. So 3, 2, 1. Steve. A lot of Steves here tonight. Interesting. Do you actually have a foreigner name and you decided Steve was also going to be your nickname? Anyway, now at the count of 3, I want you to guess which country I'm from. I give you a clue, it's not Great Britain. It's not Ireland either. So, 3, 2, 1. Switzerland. I heard a lot of things, none of them right. I think people are trolling me right now. Anyway, we are about to start the show with our first act. This person is just a wonderful and magnificent person, and he's going to tell you a huge story, a story of tale and a story of adventure. So please welcome to the stage, Kamran Khan!
Hello, yes, my name is Kamran. So as César said, I'm going to tell you a story. It's more of an epic tale, the quest. It has a hero and a villain, but trust me, I need of those people. It's about the time I went on a lad's holiday. Clearly, one lad in the audience, and you know what? That's fair. Just take a guess. I'd like to just shout out where you think I went on this lad's holiday. Any guess? Just shout out.
Magaluf.
Magaluf? Spot on, first time. It was Magaluf. Or Mallorca, as it was called before we colonised it. But yeah, went to Malaga, and to understand, I'll let you guys in a secret. I'm not a lad. Seriously, you can't look at me. I'm not a lad. But people I went on this holiday with were much more laddie than me. They were on the lad scale. They were, you know, sort of top end. I'd say I'm a 6 on the lad scale. You know, I'm a raged alcoholic, but only with cocktails. And my friend James, for example, he's about a 9 on the lad scale. You know, he knows what the offside rule in football is. He drinks just beer, and he's an asshole to women. But let's talk about my friend Dan here. Dan, he's a very special boy, because he's that solid, that mythical, that rare 10 on that lad scale. Not only does he know all the rules to all the sports ball games, not only does he drink anything he can get his hands on. I once saw him drink a Capri Sun. Yeah, I know, seriously, I thought they were legal here too. But he's not an asshole to women. He's an asshole to everybody. He's very equal opportunity in his assholeness. So the trouble really started even before I went on this holiday to Malaga, because my mum had started watching this TV programme. It was called Sun, Sex and Suspicious Parents. Basic premise of the show: a camera crew will follow a group of young people around while they're on holiday. Usually they go to places like Malaga, like Sánchez, like Ibiza, for example, and film what they get up to on a night out. They'll then show that footage to their parents without the people knowing that the footage is going to be shown to their parents, and afterwards they meet the parents and discuss what happened. So essentially you'll have this woman who thinks, oh, little Timmy, he's such a good boy, you know, he's all A's in his A-levels, he's in the choir, and he's an apple of my eye, I love him to pieces. Where in actuality, little Timmy is trying to start a fight on the DJ for not playing Mr. Brightside. And I don't blame him, it's a good song. And then my dad was cool. He drove me and my friends to the airport. It was very nice of him. But the entire time he drove us there, he kept saying, it's Magaluf. It's for the youth. And that got annoying very quickly. Eventually we get to the airport, like 2 hours and 58 minutes before our flight actually departs. 2 hours and 58 minutes. That is the length of Lord of the Rings and the Twin Towers. 2000 and 2005. Anyway, so we get there and immediately Dan pipes up and just goes, lads, 2 words, airport. bar. And so 2 hours and 58 minutes of drinking later, we board our plane. Me, slightly tipsy. And I'm a nervous flyer, I'll admit. I don't like flying. I'm perfectly fine when the plane's in the air. But I don't like landing and take off and landing, especially landing, because 100% of all plane crashes happen when the plane is going down. Tell me I'm wrong! Tell me I'm wrong! And so I could see that I was being nervous, I was being worried and anxious. And James has this idea to take my mind off it. He gets this little vodka spirit from the stewardess, and immediately decides to pour it down my throat. I felt like I got vodka boarded even before I left the country, so I was off to a good start. So we get to Maga, we get to our hotel. It's like pretty late, it's like 1 AM, and everyone's like tired and jet lagged. So I say, hey guys, how about we just put our bags away, get some sleep, and we can explore this wonderful country, this wonderful island tomorrow. Dan pipes up again with another genius idea. He says, no lads, drop our stuff off, then sit in the town. And this is when I learned that in order for a really bad idea to happen, you need about 51% of people to agree to it. And eventually, so that's what happened. We drop off our stuff at the hotel and really decide to go out. And we get back to our hotel at 6 in the morning. I'm going to tell you a little fun fact about Spain you may not know. It has a sun. Yeah, I thought it was fake too, but they have it over there. Like, you open, and everywhere you go, it's just there. Open a curtain, that's the sun. Open a fridge, that's the sun. Oh, a newspaper, oh look, it's the sun! You cannot escape it. And it's just bright, and it's blinding, and it's also very, very, very warm. So besides, you know what, we want to just relax for our first day, we're all like feeling pretty hungover. And so we decided to chill by the pool. Now the thing is, we get to the pool, look at all these little benches on the pool, and they have this weird contraption on them, like a really odd security device that I've never seen before. And I didn't think it was available now. They had a towel on them, and this towel meant that if you can't touch a towel, you can't touch the bench. That bench is not, it's someone else's. And I was wondering, could you do that in any other situation? Do you want to leave your car unlocked? Put a towel on it. Do you want to leave your door just windows wide open? Put a towel on it. You want to make sure your kid doesn't go missing? Put a towel on it. Towels are great. Put a towel on your towel. It's that good. So afterwards, me and my friends moved these guys' towels. I told James was an asshole. But moved these guys' towels, we chilled by the pool and having a good time. And I decided I want to get payback on James for vodka boarding me on the plane. And he has a fear of snakes, which fairly rational fear. I wouldn't, snakes are creepy as well. But he's terrified of them. So terrified, they actually make him, for a split second, stop being British. And who come onto the hotel? These people with snakes wrapped around them, who I hope, and I really hope they were associated with the hotel. Otherwise, that's a massive security breach, letting people with snakes onto the premises. So I go to the guy and say, yeah, can you follow my friend around with a snake? It's like 10 yards. I just want to scare him a bit. And he's like, okay, cool. And then I sit back and watch the magic unfold. I told you he stopped being British because he did this. Like, okay, it's very funny. Yeah, please leave me alone. No, please, no, it's very funny. Yeah, ha ha. Okay, fuck off! And then right afterwards, he apologised. But so then I get given the snake by this person. And it's pretty cool because it's wrapped around my arm, wrapped around my neck, and wrapped around my arm. Because I was like, oh god, I am a snake king. It feels amazing. Up until the point I start feeling a tightness around my neck, and then it starts getting harder and harder to breathe. And to top it all off, my friends think this is a joke. Like I would just kid around at being strangled by a snake. So I'm on the floor going, guys, please, guys, I'm being serious. It's not part of it. Meanwhile, my buddies, I was like, oh my god, look, he's been choked by a snake. Oh my god, so funny, look, banter, love it. It was only after coming to that my friends are around me, the hotel managers trying to make sure I come to. The snake people, they fucked off somewhere. I don't know where the hell they went. And the hotel manager was like, oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you, how about we'll give you these wristbands, we associate with a lot of clubs in Malaga, so you can get free drinks and free entry in those clubs. And I think he was doing this because he thought we were going to try and sue him. Now, I know nothing about the law. I was going to try to sue the snake. So we go out with new wristbands of power, and we head out, we get free entry and free drinks into these clubs. And it's when I first experienced a drink that would unknowingly change my life very much for the worse. It was called a Jaeger bomb. Just a show of hands, who's ever had a Jaeger bomb before? Hands up if you've enjoyed a Jaeger bomb before. You notice how many people put their hands down just then? Because you don't. Jaeger wants to drink, you get drunk. It's not one you drink because you want to have fun. Essentially, with Jaeger one, you'll hit it back, you'll be like, yeah, I feel good, for about 3 or 4 seconds before you start doing this. And it looks like you're doing ab crunches in the middle of a nightclub. So someone goes, oh my god, do you work out? No, I'm an alcoholic. So after too many of these, I decided to head back to I told my friends, I'm going to head back to the hotel because I just want to, be tired and obviously way too drunk to be here. So the problem with this is the first night out in Maga, I'm too drunk, I don't know where the hell I'm going. So I'm stumbling, I fit in perfectly because I'm stumbling around the strip like every other British tourist. However, I noticed right ahead of me is these policemen. They wear body armour and head guns. I was like, oh cool, policemen. And I started to remember that I know a fair bit of Spanish, so I can hopefully pass my way. Hopefully they'll understand what I mean, or hopefully one speaks English. So I got to them, I say, excusez-moi s'il vous plaît. That is French. And I said to them, excusez-moi, that's still French. I essentially say, hola señor, no habla español, habla inglés. And the guy looks at me and goes, I've got another one, and points to his partner, who I assume spoke English. I explained to them, do you know where his hotel is? He was very helpful. I feel like that he was used to this at that point. He was like, yeah, not the first kid to do this. I was down there on the left, straight ahead. I'm like, thank you so much. And I walked back to my hotel. And I think that was very nice of them to help me out and help me find my way. However, why were they in body armour and why did they have guns? Did I interrupt a bank robbery? If so, they were very friendly for bank robbers. 10 out of 10, recommend. So I get back to my hotel, I get my sleep. Next day, we decided we want to explore Maga, because we're really interested in nightlife. Let's see what it's like during the day. And we want to try some local Spanish cuisine. Unfortunately, there was no tapas in sight, so we had a Subway instead. And so my friend Dan, he orders a Subway, it's like a foot long, like mega melt with all the sauces and stuff, and he gets served, and then the guy goes to make my sandwich, I give him my order, and he doesn't clean a knife at first. I had to say to him, excuse me, can you clean the knife? And he's like, oh, he realises what he's doing. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. And this is how he cleans a knife. Yeah, disgusting, through his armpit. And I was about, I was angry, I was mad at him. Problem is, I'm also British, so I was being like, yeah, that's totally fine, yeah, cool, yeah, nothing wrong with this whatsoever. Problem is, but lucky for me, I was also quite drunk, so I was like, no, dude, clean the knife. I was making a bit of a commotion, enough to make the manager then come out, and the manager says, so is there a problem here? Now this is where I had 2 options. One, I could back out, like a coward, and just say, no, it's all good, or I can go full, soccer mom, may I speak to your manager mode. Luckily I chose the latter. I explained to them what happened, and they said, oh, I'm so sorry. He gives me my sandwich for free, and then we head out. And I look over and I start to see, I think I may have got that guy fired. But if he cleans it with his knife, if he cleaned the knife with his armpit, he deserved it. That is not hygienic. That night, we head out and we go to a party boat. This party boat, essentially, would go out into the middle of the ocean. It's a party boat, go to the middle of the ocean, play music, and it'd be a really fun time. And as we get to this party boat, the guy running it, who I guess is also the captain, is doing a standard, safety announcement show. Your stuff's here, here, and here. Problem is, there's also music blaring, and he's also still trying to keep people hyped up. So as he's doing it, it's like, yes, we've got fire extinguishers, please don't jump off the top of the boat. It's very dangerous, but you can jump off if you want to go into the ocean. Go to the lower levels. Okay, let's get this party started. Yeah. It's a Venga boat, but what I noticed is me and my friend. We're on top of the boat, we're enjoying the drinks, enjoying the scenery, and we notice James, he looks at me and just goes, what's this? And I can see he's about to do a run up and jump off of the top of the boat. I realise, the first rule, you don't jump off the top of the boat. So I have to immediately stop him and tackle him to the ground. I do, and we get up, and all of a sudden there's people standing around us. And then start chanting slowly, fight, 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 fight. And we look at each other and we're like, we got to fight now. That's just how it works. That's how it works in Roman times, right? But no, we get a drink, we chill out, and then we head down into the ocean. We go down to the bottom of the boat and head to the ocean there. It's very nice. It's very beautiful scenery. And we look up and we see our friend Dan leaning over the boat on the top floor, going like, "Hey guys, I'll come join you." And that's when we realise that, oh crap, I'm not there to stop him now. He's going to jump off like an idiot. But also, it'll be hilarious. So he starts to, he goes to about lean over, he's about to jump, but then suddenly he gets grabbed and pulled back. And I started to think, did he just get aliened? Because I didn't see him on that boat afterwards. I genuinely don't know what happened. Apparently what happened was he got put in the holding cell of this party boat. First of all, this boat has a holding cell. I didn't even realise that. And two, he was still drunk. They still gave him drinks. Like, this is a party prison, awesome. And essentially, my trip to Malaga basically continues like that of just doing inappropriate amount of drinks and doing stupid shit while drunk. And that's it. Anyway, I've been Kamran Khan. Thank you for listening.
That was indeed Kamran Khan. Thank you very much for that. So, our next act, this is a very, very good friend of mine. She's clever, she's intelligent, and I have nothing else good to say about her. Please welcome to the stage, Chloe Humphreys!
I am far too short for that. Hello everyone. Hello, you may have noticed by the name Chloe that I am female, but don't worry, you know, I am the last bit of any representation of minorities for the rest of the evening. Straight white men from here on out. But yes, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about relationships and like sexy stuff. So if you're like me and a bit of like have a nervous disposition and a genuine fear of intimacy, please, you know, this is your warning now in advance. But yes, my boyfriend, who is here this evening, not going to name and shame, said once that he wanted to have a talk with me, and, you know, I asked him to expand a little bit, because there's so many things you could point out about me, but he specifically pointed out my behaviour in the bedroom. Now, my mind immediately jumped to the fact that I'm a bit of an antisocial sleeper. So, like, I'm fine completely when I'm by myself, but as soon as I share a bed with someone, I become possessed by the spirit of a Black Friday shopper. I'm irrational, I've become very scary, and I have been known to be violent. One night I was staying over at a friend's house, and apparently I stayed in her bed, because I'm not going to sleep on the floor when there's a king-size bed, and according to her, I turned over in my sleep and just dug my nails into her arm like that. And when I asked her about it in the morning, she turned her arm around to show me, and there was nothing there, so I don't know what she was complaining about. But no, my boyfriend didn't want to talk to me about that. He asked me very nicely, as nice as you can ask this question, if I could start acting a bit more sexy in the bedroom. More sexy. That implies that there's some kind of foundation that we can improve upon here. I mean, I'm not convinced that we do. I mean, sir, do I look sexy to you?
Yes.
Well, you kind of failed that question because now you look like a creep in front of everyone. And my boyfriend too. But you know, I didn't really need your validation. You know, I know I'm not sexy because I've tried sexting before. I should say unenlightened, but I feel like enlightened is the right term in this condition. But for those who don't know, sexting is where you send sexually explicit messages in the hope of arousing the receiver of such messages. And the last occasion that I tried doing this, the guy very seductively sent me the message, I moan into your pussy, and the first thing that I could think to send back was, it moans back. But yeah, maybe I was approaching it the wrong way, maybe but you know, maybe I was just taking the wrong avenue. Maybe I needed to be a bit more aggressive. So another guy I spoke to on Tinder, yeah, it was rough, said to me that he wanted to do like a fantasy as if we were in an estate agent's. And you can tell it's a fantasy because, you know, I'll never be able to afford my own home. But yeah, he wanted to do this fantasy, and I told him to start because I'm clueless. And the first thing he said to me was, "You like real estate?" This wasn't planned. "You like real estate? Well, girl, I'll make you my property." His property? What is this? like the 1600s where like marriage was like essentially a property contract between two families. I mean, what am I going to have to do? Am I going to seductively tell him that I can cook swan? Am I going to have to wear a corset? What if I want to break up with him? Is he going to have to chop off my head or something? But you know, sexy language is difficult in general. I mean, think about penises. How do you make a penis sound sexy? I mean, it's not like you're going to go down the conventional route of like calling it a dick. That's a bit overdone. You know, but like, to me, a dick kind of looks like a rocket. So I kind of drew a model in advance, if I can open paper. Now, sir, do you think your penis looks like this?
That is just a carbon copy. That's exactly.
So like, say you're in the bedroom with a significant other. Would you then call this space junk?
I'm going to now, yeah.
That's one lucky person you're with. Just for context, this is my little rocket drawing. I know the model doesn't fully account for jizz yet. There you go, Kamran. I realise it doesn't fully account for jizz yet, but you know, it's kind of better that than calling it by its proper terms, you know? Imagine like being in the bedroom with someone and then like being like, oh, please insert your external dual-purpose lovemaking and urination device into me, please, sir. Like, you're not going to do that. But you guys are probably wondering, how did I remedy the situation with my boyfriend who asked me to be a bit more sexy? And I did that the very genius way by bringing the sexiest food into the bedroom. Now, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think is the sexiest food?
Hummus.
I mean, normally how this works is I come over to somebody and I point the mic at them and they like, their eyes go wide and wow, like you just jump straight in there. Can I just ask you why?
Good consistency.
That's a good. No, I'm not asking anymore. But I will subject you.
I disagree to hummus.
So, like, okay, hummus is your first choice, but what's your second choice?
Hummus.
Are we just going to go through all the varieties of hummus here? I mean, to be fair, I never imagined hummus in that way, but no, I did not take hummus in. I know you're probably all really upset to hear that. I actually took in love hearts. They've got love in the name. It's almost as if they're made for it. I mean, come on, who couldn't resist such wonderful things as email me? I mean, yeah, it's like it's 2008 and people still casually email each other. I had the sluttiest first email address. So my first email address was Kitten Chloe, right, okay? Imagine logging into your emails, the first email you get is from someone called Kitten Chloe. You're not going to think it's from some stupid 12-year-old, are you? You're going to think that this is some kind of porn bot trying to send me sexy images. Another one here, grow up. I mean, I kind of get how that works for men, but what's going to grow here? But, you know, last but not least, I actually pulled this out of the packet first, and I actually can't believe that this has actually freaked me out, but don't cry. I mean, who has ever, like, drowned their sorrows in a pack of love hearts? Imagine trying to, like, actually use this in everyday life. You go over to somebody and, you know, they're like, oh, Chloe, my granddad has just died and I'm really upset. Oh, don't cry. The love heart told you to. But you wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it anyway. But how about we try getting into the sexy mood, hey? You know, this is a little sexy mood by trying some of these love hearts. God, they have 2 layers of fucking wrapping. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. These taste a hell of a lot worse than I remembered them to. I'm going to go and suck some dick to take the taste out of them. I've been Chloe Humphreys. And I regret my life.
Okay, Chloe, thank you very much for that. So, our next set is, as Chloe said, a white straight man, but he has a very, very interesting tale to tell you. Please welcome to the stage, Tom Longmore!
I love buses. I don't just like buses, I love buses. I'm romantically in love with buses. Thank you. This is what I need, because not everyone respects our love, but I assure you that it's true, and it burns bright. And you think about it, like, buses make for wonderful romantic partners. You know, they're dependable, they'll give you a lift, sometimes they suggest films to watch at the cinema. I don't know what it is exactly about the buses, you know, like, they're just so rectangular and oblique. I just love it. I love being alone with a bus. You ever get onto a bus and you like notice that no one else is there, it's just you and the bus alone together? I love that. You know, I spend some quality time with her, I'm talking, we're getting along well. 2 minutes go by and all of a sudden someone else gets on the bus. I'm like, oh, God damn. Why can't we just be left alone together? And the bus, she's not happy about it. Buses hate third wheeling. Yeah, so... I mean, I don't mind other people on the bus, but at least you should be respectful. Like, you know, like say thank you when you're getting off the bus. I think that's like the easiest way to tell if someone's evil, if they don't say thank you. Like, reckon Hitler said thank you when getting off the bus? Not sure? Exactly. Yeah, so, oh well, this one time I was getting off the bus and I accidentally said I love you. But it was a particularly cute bus. She took me to town the one time. It was really embarrassing. I had to avoid that bus for the rest of the year. I like getting on a bus and seeing like 2 rows of people with bags next to them, you know, sitting by the windows. That's just so perfect. I join them, I sit next to them and put my bag next to them. But the problem is this can't continue forever, because eventually there's just not enough room. And people have to start moving their bags, and some people don't. They just flat out refuse. They're like, where will my bag sit? These people are really strange. They value the welfare of their bag over a human being. This is crazy, like, bags don't have souls. The only things that have souls are people and buses. I'm not a bag supremacist, so I move my bag aside, but I do so reluctantly, because I don't actually want anyone to sit next to me. I'm too antisocial. But I'm like, I also don't want to look like a bad person, so I do it, but I'm like, please don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me. And this one time no one did, and I was really happy for like a short period of time, but then the bus got crowded, like, to the point where every seat was taken except the one next to me. Eventually people were standing in the bus, and then the bus got so packed that the bus driver stopped letting people on, and still no one sat next to me. And I started freaking out. I was like, why is no one sitting next to me? What is it? What is it? Do I smell or something? And it traumatized me. And now these days, I'm desperate for people to sit next to me. I'll be sitting on the bus and someone will walk by and I'll stand up and be like, hello there. This seat is fine and I'm normal. I still don't want to sit next to me. So it's tragic, it's tragic. I live in Preston. We don't have any Preston people here. I don't know why we would. And we do have one. Where is he? Oh, he's gone. He'll be back in a minute. There he is. Sorry. Anyway, so Preston is like an hour and a half away by bus, which, you know, is a while, and I go there, I come to Lancaster and back every day. So that's 3 hours of bus time. And let me tell you, it's 3 hours of bliss. I absolutely adore it. And it was on this commute that I met the first person I'm going to tell you about. She was called Ella. She was the 10:35, number 41, Preston to Morecambe. And she was something special, let me tell you that. She was a double-decker bus. I prefer double-decker buses. You know, I like a bus with some metal on her chassis. Straight lines in all the right places. She liked to try and play it innocent, but I knew that underneath her smooth, shiny exterior, she had a grimy engine. Hey, so me and Ella were getting on well, and it was on Ella that I met this woman called Linda from Latvia. And Linda from Latvia was this 27-year-old woman, and we were both on the top floor of the bus, the front, with the windscreen, and I was loving it. And she started talking to me, and I was just happy that I was still insecure about thinking no one wants to sit next to me, so I was enjoying it for a bit. We were having a nice, polite conversation, but eventually things calm down a bit. There's a lot of conversation. I start appreciating the lovely, beautiful Lancashire countryside, and I hear Linda say, "Beautiful." I say, "What's beautiful?" And she goes, "Yo." And I swooned a little bit. I'm like, "Ooh." I'm not used to compliments like that, I can't say. But all of a sudden, the conversation had shifted drastically. All of a sudden, it was like some sort of evaluation. She's like, "How old are you?" I'm like, I'm 22. She goes, "He's a little young. He's a little young. You have a car?" Can't just met each other on a bus. I'm just having the Porsche waxed at the moment. No, I don't have a car. She's like, it's too bad, it's too bad. I'm sorry, I don't think it will work out between us. And I'm like, okay, I didn't technically ask you out, but okay. I love unwarranted rejection. Says, "But can I have your number?" "Why do you want my number if you're not interested?" "Maybe you'll do for my little sister." Anyway, so I give her my number. But obviously more so out of politeness than anything. She didn't know about my affinity for public transport. I'm metrosexual after all. So that's one of my lovely tale of me and Ella. But there's been other buses in my life. They've been less pleasant, perhaps. There was Barbara. Now Barbara was this older bus. She was a bit grimy. Let me tell you, she was absolutely filthy. Like, this guy knows what I'm talking about. And, she had profanity scratched into the windows, chips and mackies littered the seats, an empty bottle of vodka rolled across the floor eternally. She was a mess. But, I still loved her, because, love's in the inside. And she was taking me back to Preston, and it was really late. It was like an hour-long trip, and it was really late, and I was really tired. And I was trying to get to sleep. Now, I really struggle to get to sleep on buses, because they're so goddamn sexy. But eventually I managed, but I fell asleep in this weird position. I was like, my legs were crossed, my back was to the side, my head was up against the window, and I looked really weird. But I fell asleep, and an hour later I woke up. And when I woke up, I discovered that I had pins and needles in my dick. And let me tell you, it was not pleasant. The worst part was the first 4 minutes of not knowing that it was pins and needles, and just freaking out. Thinking it could have been anything. I was considered phoning an ambulance, but I didn't, unfortunately. But then eventually I realised it was pins and needles, and I had a second problem. Okay, you there, dear sir. How do you get rid of pins and needles?
Like, you gotta...
Yeah.
You gotta shake it.
Exactly. But you see, it's not appropriate to shake your penis around in the middle of a crowded bus. So, unfortunately, that wasn't an option. But you know what, that's not even the worst experience. That's not the most harmful experience I've had at a bus. There was another bus I remember, she was called Trisha. Now Trisha, she was a little bit of a wild card, I'll say, because Trisha had blue bars. Now personally, I'm more of a gaudy orange bars with blue seats kind of guy. She was trying something different with her bars and I was kind of into it. So me and Trisha, we were coming back from the Lake District. So she was taking me and my friends back from the Lake District. It was a long trip. And my friends turned to me at one point and they say, "Oh Tom, we're nearly home. Can you press the button, please?" So, okay, I get up, I press the button. I sit down, and then immediately they say, "Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, actually, we're nowhere near. We're nowhere near at all. We're like 30 minutes away." And I'm like, "I just pressed the button." And they're like, "So?" And then I'm getting a little bit nervous. I see in the distance the bus stop, and there's no one there. The bus slows down. The bus stops, and nobody gets off the bus, and I have a full-blown panic attack. What happens when you press the button and no one gets off the bus? Do you just like die and go straight to hell? And I wasn't about to find out, so I stood up and I started to get off the bus. And my friends are like, "Tom, this is not a stop." I'm like, "I know." But I pressed the button. So I got off the bus and I said goodbye to Trisha. "I love you." Shit. And I get off and I just watch Trisha and my friends drive off into the sunset together. Not gonna lie, I felt a bit cucked. But that's life. Sometimes you get cucked. So just gotta roll with it. Roll the punches. So I can't complain really about fidelity. I'm not the most faithful. Sometimes I go for the sleek, expensive alternative, trains. Look, I want you guys to know one thing though. These trains, they meant nothing to me. They meant nothing to me. Okay. The other day I was waiting for a train, right? I was in a train station, that's where you usually wait for them. And I saw the train approaching in the distance. So what I did is I stepped past the forbidden yellow line and I did this. Excuse me, train. I'd like to get on you. And everyone was staring at me, and I was like, you lazy bastards, if I didn't do this, right past. You should appreciate me. And then I realized why they were staring. They were staring because they knew that I was being unfaithful to my buses. And I was pretty embarrassed. So I got on the train and I left, cowering. I arrived back at Preston train station. I get out the front door, and Elle the bus was there waiting for me, and I panicked. I said, "It's not what it looks like." But there was no mending the situation. I lost her. I lost Elle the bus. So look, guys, if you're ever in the same sort of situation as me, you've got someone that you care about, you know, just don't make the same mistake. No matter what you do, never ever get on a train. Okay, thank you very much.
That was Tom Longmore, everybody. So, we have now our last set of the night. You're supposed to be sad now. But don't worry, because it's very good. Please welcome to the stage, Dearden!
Hello. Tonight I thought I'd bring some controversial opinions with me. What would stand-up be without controversial opinions, right? Do we want to hear some controversial opinions? Yeah. I don't like Subway. Yeah, I'm talking about the sandwich shop, not the trains. I'm pretty big on those. But we'll get to that later. For those of you who don't know, Subway is a shop where you go and you request someone to construct a sandwich for you, and then you buy that sandwich, then you eat it. Okay? So my first problem with Subway is it's a shop for narcissists. Who thinks that they can choose sandwich ingredients better than a sandwich professional? And secondly, Subway is not a shop that sells sandwiches. Subway is a shop that sells horrendously awkward social situations. Let me paint you a picture of my first Subway experience. I was young. Naive. Thirsty for a Samwam. I stroll into the shop, walk up to the counter and say to the man behind the counter, the sandwichier, "Excuse me, sir, I would like a sandwich." To which he responded, yeah, sure, 6 inch or foot long. I went for the foot long, not wanting to appear weak in front of the experienced sandwichier. But his next question threw me back. What kind of bread would you like? What kind of bread? What was I meant to say? I didn't know if me and Mr. Subway frequent the same bakery. So I said the first thing that came into my head, Hovis? He laughed me out the shop. As far as I'm concerned, there are only 2 kinds of bread that matter. Fuck-hearty Italian and all of its fancy little friends. There's the 2 main breads, and that's white and wholemeal. And within these categories, you've got several major subdivisions. In the wholemeal corner, you've got plain brown and you've got granary. Quick note about granary bread. All grains stored in a granary bread. You're not special. And then in the white corner, you got plain white, French, and tiger. Fun fact about tiger bread, it's bad. And nothing like a tiger. They should just call it stripy bread. I am, of course, not mentioning the elephant in the room, the 3rd type of bread. Best of both. More like best of neither, am I right? Yes. I know I'm right. It takes the worst aspect of each type of bread. It takes the white feature of having 0 health benefits and the brown feature of tasting like shit. I have done the maths, And I have come to the conclusion that at least 95% of the world's problems were caused by best of both bread. The Great Fire of London started after a baker left his oven on. What was he baking? Best of both. The Titanic sank after it crashed into a free-floating loaf of Arctic Kingsmill 50/50. Read a history book. It's all true. My great-grand-step-uncle ate best of both. Let that sink in. Right? Oh, and he was Hitler. Okay, I'm really sorry for bringing Hitler into this. To bring the mood back up, I thought I'd do some dog jokes. Do we like dogs? Do we like dogs? Yeah, wholesome dog jokes for all the family. So throughout the show, I'm gonna sprinkle in a few dogs every now and then. See if you can spot them. That's just a fun little game for you to play in the audience. Labradorable, more like. Isn't that wholesome? Wholesome. Golden Retriever. The only thing that guy's retrieving is my heart. Oh. Jack Russell. Who's that? Your dad. So that's the first dog section over with. Now let's go back to trains. Only this time, sorry, subways. Spoiled it a bit there, didn't I? Only this time we're talking about the train type. Choo-choo. More like choo-woo. Because I bloody love trains. My dad was a massive fan of trains. Well, he was a regular-sized man. But his love of trains was massive. And I think he rubbed off on me a little bit, because I'm loco for locomotives, baby. That's right. That's right. Can you guess why? Because I'm a virgin enthusiast. Something you believe. Can't believe. Alright. My favourite kind of trains are steam trains, because they whistle and go choo-choo. Trains are also one of the most liberal national institutions. You know, they had gender-neutral toilets way before anyone else. And quite a few of them are trans, Pennine. If you want to find out the rest of the reasons why I love trains, visit my blog at www.trains.com. It's very big in Germany. Only there it's www.zugazugazugazugausdasgehirn.de. Sorry, that was less of a joke and more of a translation. Train station. I feel like I can really get on board with trains, you know. I get them. We're the same. We're both creatures that eat and use that energy to just keep on moving forwards, unless there's no turntable in which you've got to go backwards. But we're still going where we want to go. Also, I sleep in a train shed. Beagle? Yes, please. I'm famished. Sheepdog? Sheep? Dog? Make your mind up, nature. King Charles Spaniel? Who's that? Your dad? My dad was a fan of darts. But when I was a kid, I just didn't get the appeal of darts. It just seemed like it was watching alcoholics put things on a board. And I had enough of that at school. But it always just kind of looked sad and endless, like watching an animal die. But I was wrong. I learnt I was wrong when I watched the, I think, 2015 Darts World Championships final, in which Phil the Power Taylor took on Gary the Flying Scotsman Anderson. And that game taught me that darts isn't like watching an animal die. It's like watching a very, very, very slow animal live. That's right. I'm now a big fan of darts, and my favourite thing about darts is the player names. They've all got these amazing middle names. I've already mentioned Phil, the Power Taylor. He's got a strong middle name, the kind that inspires respect. Kind of makes my middle name, Edward John Dearden, seem a bit shit. And some of these players have amazing middle names, borderline prophetic. There is this one darts player called Wayne Mr. Darts Cranston. That's right, that's a lot of pressure to put on a child given that name. It's like calling your child like Johnny Fireman Jones, or Jesse UN Secretary General Thompson, or Edward Not a Disappointment Dearden. But, you know, at least darts isn't violent. That's one thing I don't like about some sports. Rugby, for example. It's a very violent game. Very violent. I don't know why they make people play it at schools. Because when you're at school, your ability at rugby has nothing to do with skill and everything to do with size. It's basically just punishment for being shit at puberty. Whoever created rugby must have been a properly sadistic bastard. And I did some research. And I found out a certain Mr. William Webb Ellis from Rugby School Rugby. Rugby was a stop on the West Coast Main Line. Now, this goes deeper. There are two types of rugby. The remainder of West divided by 2, East. The East Coast Main Line connects to Newcastle, the largest city in the county of Tyne and Wear. Tyne and Wear contains the town of South Shields, birthplace of director Ridley Scott. And you'll never guess what Ridley Scott directed in 1973. Only an advert for Hovis. The very same Hovis who made Hovis best of both bread, the root of all evil. I rest my case. And I never got that sandwich. Basset hound. I'm more of a Rowntree's hound kind of gal. Pomeranian. I'd like that Pomer in my anium. Saint Bernard. Who's that? Your dad. Gonna go into my backstory now. My dark backstory. You know, at school I was a bit of a bad boy. Like all the best deputy head boys, I had skeletons in my pantry. I was in a gang. Our gang was pretty much the coolest gang in school. That's right, we carried our signature gang weapon, a sharpened compass. Not only could we use it to draw our gang logo, a circle, but we could also use it to fight off rival gangs and gain the street cred. That's right. We were called the Corridor Queens because of our position on the corridor, our love of the royalty, our favourite band, and no other reason. Our gang song, the national gangtham, was the song Radio Gaga, except the lyrics had been quite wittily changed, so it went Radio Gang Gang. We had weekly gang meetups in the school library. Our games of Boggle were legendary, both for their high-scoring words and their notorious quietness. Our vocabularies were only exceeded by our respect for the school library's silence policy. We didn't want to get kicked out mid-bog. Do we like TV? We like TV?
No.
Children's TV? Hopefully not still. But did we like children's? We liked children's TV when we were children, right?
Yeah.
And did we like a TV programme called Bananas in Pyjamas?
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it was a lovely TV programme about 2 banana friends who wear pyjamas and hang out with their little teddy bear pals. And it had a theme tune if you don't remember. It went, bananas in pyjamas are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pyjamas are coming down in pairs. Bananas in pyjamas are chasing teddy bears, 'cause on Tuesdays they all try to catch them unawares. That was the song. Thank you. You know, not enough people appreciate the skill with which I sing that song. Thank you. But I've been thinking about the show a lot recently. One specific aspect of this show, which is why are these bananas wearing pyjamas? And I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've come to the conclusion that there's only one reason why these bananas would be wearing pyjamas all the time. And that's because these bananas in pyjamas are terminally ill. And they're not even that old. You can tell because they've not got the black blotches. Just thank God they're not green. Or we'd have to call bananas. But you know, they're taking it well. They're still playing with their teddy bear friends. They're still running up and down those stairs with their usual aplomb, or a banana, as the case may be. But what if one day they don't run up those stairs? What if one day the teddy bears wake up and walk up the banana stairs and open the banana bedroom door? They look to the banana bed and see banana 1 lying there still and cold as a regular banana. Banana 2 cradling his lifeless banana friend, a single banana tear falling down his banana cheek. That'll be a sad episode. So I wrote a song about it. It's a new theme tune, maybe like a special theme tune, you know? I brought my axe. Be warned, I'm very proficient. To the untrained ear, it almost sounds like I'm not proficient. So just be aware. I just tune up. Okay. Ba 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 na 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 na. Ba 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 na 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 na. It all seems to be working. Bananas in pajamas, they're coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas, they're coming down in pairs. Bananas in pajamas, they're chasing teddy bears. 'Cause on Tuesdays they all try to catch them unawares. That's just the normal version. You need some consistency. Bananas in pajamas, they're lying in their bed. Bananas in pajamas, thoughts running through their head. Bananas in pajamas, their hearts are filled with dread. 'Cause on Tuesdays or any other day, they might be fucking dead. Bananas in pajamas, don't think they'll get well soon. Bananas in pajamas, facing impending doom. The devil's gone and had a dump all over their dreams. Banana 1, his kidney hurts, and 2 has lost a spleen. Bananas in pajamas, they ain't looking so strong. Bananas in pajamas, they ain't looking, what the fuck? They ain't done nothing wrong. Bananas in pajamas, they won't last very long. 'Cause Tuesday was 4 days ago. They might not last this song. Yorkshire Terrier. More like Yorkshire Terrar, everybody. I've got a dachshund. Good night, everybody.
And that was it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and thank you for Yorkshire Taps to let us do this wonderful show here tonight. If you like what you saw, we are at university. We have general meetings every Friday at 6 p.m. I would recommend you to look at our Facebook page, which is LUCI, Lancaster University Comedy Institute. Also, we put up a show every Thursday on County Bar. This one will be in 2 weeks. So please come along. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles.